Nigahiga was once the most subscribed YouTuber on the entire platform. He dominated the site with perfectly timed skits, internet-breaking comedy, and some of the most iconic early videos in YouTube history. But as of today, the channel is basically abandoned, and Ryan Higa, the face of Nigahiga, hasn't uploaded a single video since April 2020. The question is, what happened? To understand the disappearance of one of YouTube's biggest legends, we need to go back to the very beginning, because Nigahiga was never just Ryan. It started with two best friends in Hawaii, Ryan Higa and Sean Fujiyoshi. Together, they created low-budget comedy skits like How to Be Emo, How to Be Gangster, and How to Be Ninja. 3 uploads that would act as the foundation for an empire. By 2009, they'd become the most subscribed channel on YouTube, holding the #1 spot for a staggering 677 days. But the cracks in the foundation had already started to show. Ryan began to hint that the channel wasn't as sustainable as it looked. When he hit 5 million subscribers, he celebrated with a skit showing how exhausting the production process really was. He wasn't just the star of the videos, he was the writer, director, cameraman, editor, and essentially the entire crew. So in response, Ryan formed the Ryan Higa production company, or RHPC. Alongside Sean, 5 new members were added to help expand the brand. The team got bigger, the projects got more ambitious, and everything seemed to be moving up. But behind the scenes, Ryan's personal life was becoming more and more unmanageable. As his fame grew, Ryan found himself unable to live a normal life. Fans spray-painted graffiti on his family's house while they were inside.
With that amount of people watching, there's always bound to be some sick people. Like once in my home in Hawaii, people came and spray painted tihi on my parents' house while we were in it. That's the scary part. People tried to come up to my other house and they tried to come to my windows and take pictures of us through the windows. Stuff like that, it makes you think a lot. You do have to live with it.
Strangers tried to peek through his windows. He was becoming the kind of internet celebrity that couldn't go anywhere without being recognized. And for someone who built a channel on goofy skits, the attention wasn't just uncomfortable, it was terrifying. He started dropping subtle clues that YouTube was no longer fun. In 2017, he uploaded Life of a YouTuber, breaking down the emotional stages of a creator's career. By stage 5, he admits that the fun was gone. The final stage, he jokes, is when a YouTuber writes a book. And at the end of the video, that's exactly what he announces.
Writing a book is a very important stage in a YouTuber's career. It means that I am in one of the final stages of my YouTube career.
It was funny, but also a warning shot. The writing was on the wall. But surprisingly, the uploads didn't stop. For another year, Ryan kept making videos. That is, until September 2nd, 2018, when he released a video titled Goodbye, Sean. After a decade of being by his side, Sean Fujiyoshi was leaving RHPC. He'd gotten a job in engineering and was moving to California with his girlfriend. To fans, it was a bittersweet goodbye, but for Ryan, it was a massive shift. Sean's departure seemed to trigger an identity crisis. While his best friend was moving forward in life, Ryan was still making the same comedy sketches he'd been doing since high school. It wasn't just creatively stifling. It was emotionally draining. "I did the same thing every day for years," Ryan would later explain. "If you do it for a while, you kind of get to the same place." 6 videos later, Ryan posted If I Quit, YouTube, where he openly admits that he was bored and uninspired. The passion was gone. "For the past year," he says, "I really have been considering quitting YouTube. It's not that I don't want to, I just wasn't having fun."
For the past year, I really have been considering quitting YouTube. It's not that I don't want to do YouTube, but I just wasn't having fun making YouTube videos anymore. There's gonna be changes on this channel. And I know that a lot of you praise me and respect me for not changing my content over the years, but this is something I have to do for myself.
This wasn't a burnout that could be solved by a vacation. It was a deeper problem. The joy that once fueled his videos had disappeared. In live streams, He confessed that making skits no longer felt challenging.
Nothing that I really feel like, oh, this is going to be different if I do it. It would have to be something more challenging.
He hated listening to his own voice in the edit. Watching himself over and over drove him to a level of frustration that made the creative process unbearable.
Watching yourself over and over and over and listening to yourself, it actually used to make me mad. It's a weird thing to understand until you do it over and over and over. But I would literally be like, in my head, I'd be like, shut up, dude, shut up! Because you hear and see the same shit over and over and over. It was like frustrating because I would self-critique too much.
I would literally be like, shut up, dude, shut up, he said. Because you hear and see the same thing over and over and over. With skits off the table, he pivoted into podcasting. Off the Pill became the new format, and he admitted that this was basically his way of avoiding full retirement. He said it bluntly, make what I want or quit altogether. Podcasts were easier to produce, less emotionally taxing, and didn't require the constant high-energy performance of his older content. But even then, something felt off. Fans noticed that the comedy wasn't the same. Nigahiga, the once flawless sketch channel, was now a patchwork of podcasts, ads, and product launches. In 2019, he uploaded 13 podcast episodes in a row. The skits were basically gone. In a video titled, "Why I Haven't Been Posting," Ryan admitted that he didn't fit into the current YouTube algorithm anymore. "I was getting a little frustrated with YouTube," he said.
I don't even know when exactly it started to happen, but I was getting a little frustrated with YouTube and getting really just bitter, I guess, with what YouTube had become.
He later added in an interview with Anthony Padilla that he had been burnt out for years. Not weeks, not months, years, and success didn't make any of it better. He said that being rich, famous, and respected did nothing for his personal happiness.
How have you prevented yourself from feeling YouTube burnout?
I didn't. I'll admit that I was burnt out for like years.
He even compared his story to Robin Williams.
The Robin Williams incident where like you can be the funniest, most respected, famous, loved, and no one knows what you're going through. So how was his life better than the guy who's working a 9-to-5 right now and is still has a family? That's a better life.
You can be the funniest, most loved, most successful, and no one will know what you're going through, he explained. So, how is that better than someone who works a 9-to-5 and has a family? That's a better life. By the time he turned 30, Ryan wasn't just tired of YouTube. He was completely lost. His uploads became more sporadic. The content was disjointed. One moment it was a podcast, the next it was a skit, then suddenly it was an advertisement for his new energy drink. It all came to a halt after the 41st episode of Off the Pill. The channel went silent. 3 months later, Ryan reappeared with a video titled, "My Midlife Crisis." He opened up about a breakup, his mental health, and the fact that he felt like he had no direction in life.
I don't usually talk about relationship stuff here on YouTube. I am no longer dating anyone. I'm not dating Mrs. Che anymore.
"I'm freaking old, man," he laughed nervously. "I just realized I'm gonna be 30.
The real reason why I had to take this break was because I needed to reflect on my own life. I'm freaking old, man. I just realized that I'm going to be 30.
That final video was posted on April 25th, 2020. It would be the last thing he ever uploaded. When fans asked what happened, Ryan explained it all in a Twitch stream. The pandemic hit. Lockdowns made it impossible to film anything. His production team couldn't meet. And honestly, he didn't want to make videos anymore. Streaming was fun. It was fresh. It didn't make him hate himself during the editing process. "I haven't felt that kind of joy from anything YouTube-related in a long time," he said. Years. But most importantly, the channel didn't die because of a drop in views or algorithm punishment. It ended because Ryan chose to end it. "I didn't want to keep going," he said. "That, to me, was the best way to go out, on my own terms." Today, Ryan is still streaming on Twitch, often pulling in over 1,000 viewers per session, which is extremely rare for someone who left YouTube at his peak. And according to Ryan, YouTube isn't totally off the table. Does that mean I'm done with YouTube? He said. There's been some days where I came really close to starting again. But he admits it would take something really special, an idea he's truly passionate about, to bring him back. I'd have to enjoy everything about making a video, he said. And I don't. Not anymore. Still, there may be a tiny sliver of hope. Just a few days ago, Sean Fujiyoshi posted a photo showing the entire RHPC gang back together again. And if history is any indicator, we might not have seen the last of Nigahiga just yet.